This call is from a federal prison.
Misunderstood, yeah. Judged by the cover. Misunderstood, yeah. From one to another.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and after doing 20 years in and out of prison, I'm finally here to give back and help others that are still doing time behind the walls share their stories.
And hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm her mom, and we're both here to help support friends, family, and loved ones from the inside out. Today, our episode is regarding the sexual misconduct of one of the women's prison in Dublin, California. I believe the scandal started in 2021, and it is now shut down. And we have a lot of information on what happened behind there. And Tiffany has quite a few friends that were a part of that. So we're going to discuss that. And without further ado, Tiffany, what can you tell us about this scandal?
So, I don't know if a lot of you guys have heard about this, but there was a huge sexual scandal in FCI Dublin. And I was actually trying to get there for several years because it was closer to home. So I was always requesting to get to California because, you know, my mother was out there, grandma and grandpa were out there, everybody was out there. And they would never accept me because they always said something was going on. And I had always heard that there was like an investigation going on, you know?
Yep.
But I didn't realize how severe it was until I got to Tallahassee, and I was there with several of the girls that were actually in the lawsuit and part of the sexual misconduct.
So when you were when you were trying to get there, was that during your period of where were you then?
It was back when I was in so right when COVID hit.
Okay, gotcha.
So the investigation was going on, so it was going on prior, so during COVID time.
So when you tried to go and they denied you, did you know what the scandal was about, or did you just know that?
No, I just thought that they were in an investigation because a lot of the prisons go into investigation for various things, you know, for sanitary issues or the compound's falling apart or there's health issues, you know, or head count. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Okay. Okay.
So I really didn't know what exactly. I just knew that everybody was saying that Dublin's going to be shut down. Dublin's going to be shut down. But
okay,
you hear that all the time, and then it never happens. You know.
Sure.
So,
so how did you know what was going on? When was the first time you knew what was actually happening?
So I had always heard that there was a lot that you could do anything at Dublin. Anything. You could get anything that you wanted. The officer would bring you whatever. It's like that on men's compounds, but not so much on women's compounds. So, so I had always heard that, but I always heard there was a lot of sexual favors that were going on the compound. I always
you knew that before you wanted to go there.
Yeah. I've always heard that. Yeah,
okay.
But like there's kind of like a catch-22 with it when it comes down to like the fact that this has gone over the sexual scandal, basically, because a lot of times in general, I mean, it's both the inmates and the guards, you know, it's not just the officers.
No, of course.
And it's usually a fair trade for the services.
Sure. And I'm sure we'll go into a lot of that.
Definitely. But, so yes, I was aware of it even when I was trying to go there.
Okay.
So anyway, so this last time, whenever I had got to Tallahassee, I heard the extent of it because one of my very close friends, two of them were actually part of it. So I had got the full disclosure details on the backlash, on everything. You know, how the warden and the chaplain were part of it. Both of them were very much part of it to the point where they were taking the pillow from the chaplain's office to sample it for semen.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think that they said that he got 7 years, right?
It says that the chaplain got 7 years, and he probably got more than the warden because, you know, chaplain is like a figure of trust.
Wow, totally. Yeah. Well, the warden got 6 years. Ray J. Garcia. Yeah, he got 6 years and had no comment. I think when the press was interviewing him, he had no comment.
Oh, Garcia, it says, was 55 and from Merced, California.
Yeah.
So is Dublin next to Merced? Where is Dublin?
I don't know. I think it's near, where is it? Like, I know it's not San Francisco, but like towards that. Okay. It's further that way than it is not Southern California. It's Northern California. Like Oakland area.
Okay, so then how did this whole lawsuit come about? Because then there was a huge lawsuit with like over 100 women,
Right.
And then it was settled on, I think it was $112 million.
112 or 116, I think.
I think it was
$1 million.
It was 112, but either way, it was a lot.
Yeah, so that was divided up between all of them.
Oh, 160.
Right, I think it's 15 million. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so how did that all come about? Like, did the lawsuit come after they started investigating it?
Well, there were several women that had been already, like, okay, so imagine, say you're an inmate, an old inmate, you're just doing your time, just trying to do your time, and all you see is sexual misconduct all around you, right?
Old as in my age?
Oh, no.
Like old person?
Like in general.
Okay, because
But you look great creation.
I'd be old whenever.
Yeah, but nobody ever listens to you like you're old, so, So, but just imagine being an older woman, older, mature woman, and you have stuff going on around you all the time.
And you're aware of it.
Or you're aware of it. Yeah, because it's blatantly going on right in front of you. You work in the kitchen and you see women flirting with their bosses constantly or going into the office constantly with their bosses. I mean, because that's
when you say bosses, that would
the
be
kitchen bosses, the ones that they work for.
Okay, so is a kitchen boss an inmate or is it
It's just a officer.
Okay, gotcha.
So you have an officer like in facilities. You have an officer that works over you in facilities. You have part of your crew. You have an
Or laundry.
everywhere. Yep. All over the compound. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you work with other inmates and you have inmates that are grades higher than you, like a grade 1, 2, 3, 4. But you have an officer that oversees everything.
You're right.
So so I'm sure that it started off with just people dropping cop outs, which is like requests saying, just letting someone know, letting staff know, hey, this is going on.
Yeah.
If they're letting staff know and these staffers having sexual relations with inmates already, so they're not reporting it, So they're getting reports, but they're not reporting it because it's going straight to staff that are doing it.
Right.
Like the warden, or they're telling, religious services that they're having issues, and the chaplain was having sex with the inmates too. So,
right. And so that started getting out.
Yeah.
And then they started the investigation.
Right.
So when they started the investigation, though, why did the lawsuit happen? Because wasn't it kind of consensual too?
Yeah.
Like tell me how that went. Because obviously it was consensual.
Well, right. It was, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. But then when consensual becomes like, when you start, when people are telling you to the shoe and stuff like that, we're not, or whatever, like being threatened with being in trouble, your privileges being taken or whatever, or being pressured because I'm sure there was pressure there. I mean, a lot for them.
Because once it starts, then it's just black.
And yeah, exactly. So I know. The women blackmail too.
Oh, sure.
Not just, I mean, it's definitely both parties.
Yeah, it's a two-way situation.
I mean, but the officers they're supposed to be there to protect, be there for safety for you. And when that line's been crossed, then what? There's a safety issue, so the people that are there to protect you are now all involved because from what Saskia Mesmer told me, which I spoke with her today, there was a lot of backlash when the investigation was going on because a lot of the officers called them rats. They got punished.
So were these people that they were calling rats, were they people that were involved in it or people that just saw it?
Okay, so there was like an overall. So at the end, right before, so when I talked to Sassy today, I was just asking her questions, just so they would tell our viewers, full disclosure on it.
Yeah.
We tried to get her on the show last week, but for some reason I couldn't get it.
Difficulties.
But we tried, and we're going to perfect it. And we are going to have people on the show that are actually from inside so they can talk, tell you guys their personal stories and experiences. But she was able to give me her personal experience, and she said it was absolutely horrific. So leading up to when they were all moved, she said it was horrible. So they walked all the officers off of the compound, and they had to get a whole new staff.
So this was when everything was going down.
Right.
Okay, so they had investigated it. They were going to shut it down.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell anybody that this was going to happen. They just came and all of the officers the current ones were escorted off, and then new ones came in.
Yeah, not all in one day, but they were getting escorted up. New people were coming in. So they have a whole new staff, and they decide that they're going to try to work it out for about a year. And apparently the sexual misconduct got worse. She said it was horrible.
From new people too?
New people. Yeah. Wow. New people. Yep. So it was everybody, and it was all the time. So then one day she said that like a third of the compound was given a green bag and then told to pack up all their belongings. They were leaving. Wow. So as much as they could fit in this one green bag. Like the green bag is as big as an army bag. So like,
and you've had that happen to you before.
Right. Yeah. That was a natural disaster. Yeah. When COVID had hit, they gave us all the bag, and they were like, I remember, pack everything that you can. And mind you, I had a lot of stuff. There are people that are doing life in prison and have tons of stuff. And, they were told to pack it all in one bag, and
the whole COVID thing is going to be like a whole new episode too, because stuff that you've told us about that is insane.
I know. Oh, yeah. Just crazy.
That was surreal.
Well, I remember when we would have conversation, because you're the one that told me about COVID. Remember, I was living under a rock, and you called and you were like, Mom, something's going on. Something's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever.
Right. You're like, no. And I'm like, Mom, no, something is coming.
Yeah. Like you were like paranoid, like
going to one of us.
Conspiracy.
And I'm like, no, Mom, this is real. CNN is talking about it.
We're about to die.
Right. And everybody's infected by this. You're like, no. I'm like, for real. And then it happened.
Yeah. So let's get back to that. Sorry.
Sorry for last night. We will talk about COVID one day, but as for now, yep. So they were told to pack up their stuff, whatever. Well, anyway, so like I said, Lifers have a ton of stuff. Lock is full of your stuff, belongings, pictures, letters. People saved that. I know I did during my time. And, anyway, so they were told that they were going to be leaving. So she said that it took a week to get everybody off the compound. And so they cleared out those.
Did they know what was happening during that week?
Well, yeah, they tell you the truth. Yeah, I'm not sure there was rumor that they were leaving. Sure. There's always rumor about that. I mean, I've heard that rumor several times. We're leaving.
Right.
So they left, and I guess a lot of the women that were sick weren't even medically cleared to get on the bus to go. They have to medically clear you to leave. And they weren't even medically cleared.
I mean, there's so many things about prison that are just not done right.
Right.
Just period.
Most definitely. Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a lot. Yeah, there's so much negligence. It's wild.
I mean, there's people that die and nobody even knows about it. No,
they don't tell the news.
Yeah, they don't tell the news.
No, that's another story. Episode. But anyway, so I remember when we would walk on the track, she would tell me that when they went to Philly and they went to like SeaTac Philly, those are all other places, but they're not compounds. Those are just detention centers, and waiting to go to their next compound. And they would get them off a compound so quick because they labeled them rats or snitches or whistleblowers or whatever, and they treated them horribly. Like all officers did, because
wherever, did everybody get transferred to different places?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so all of them had backlash, or most of them had backlash?
Yeah, they were coming from Dublin. Yeah, they were all, even when I was in Oklahoma Transfer Center, they treated the girls differently that were from Dublin.
Why?
Yeah, and the girls will even tell you, they'll be like, okay, well, I mean, so I just want to warn you, they do treat us a little bit differently because we're from the Dublin situation, the Dublin scandal, because there's so many compounds that are doing our own dirt that having them there, they felt like that, I guess, that they would get told on. I don't really,
You would think that all of those facilities would treat them or treat everybody better because they were worried that they were going to be investigated for whatever.
Right. That was part of, I think, the stipulations during when the lawsuit went down. Like, I guess, like the civil part of everything. Like, they were supposed to, listen to this. So they were like, okay, they have to go to a compound with those classes. They have to go to a compound with this therapy. They have to be at a compound that has like the medical services that they can provide, like therapeutic services. Yeah. All those, like, they're
Like the trauma center.
Yeah. Yes. So
nobody else has trauma in there.
right.
Just them.
Right. Just them. Just them. Exactly. And so basically they were supposed to be treated the way, right. You know what I mean? The way that everybody should be treated. Right. That they are definitely have a court order. Every Dublin inmate gets this privilege. And then last year, I want to say, it came out that those stipulations, because it was so hard for them to uphold those stipulations. I remember there's a newsletter that came out that said, okay, well, that is no longer in effect because Dublin compound has been shut down. So because that facility is no longer exists, then those laws don't apply anymore.
That's crazy.
Because Dublin does not exist anymore. So the Dublin, that doesn't matter now.
Right.
So they have eliminated the problem. The problem was Dublin.
But the problem is still out there.
Oh, for sure.
The problem's still out there. So it's not just Dublin. So
So it's a lot. So statistically, it's like, it's all over.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. In fact, I pulled that up. I got to find what those statistics were, but it happens all over the United States.
Cam, do you have anything up where the statistics are of sexual misconduct in women's federal prisons?
It says between 4 to 8% of incarcerated individuals experience sexual victimization each year.
4 to 8%? That's it? I would think it would be.
In 2018, the National Inmate Survey estimated that over 100,000 inmates experience sexual abuse annually in the U.S. prisons and jails.
Well, when you think about that, yeah, that's a lot. Because how many women are in prison right now? Do you know? How many women are actually incarcerated? I don't know that stat, and Cam is pulling that up for us, I think. Cam's our tech guy today, pulling stuff up. $190,000 women.
And 100,000 of those people.
No, that's not right.
Yeah.
If it's a right, I don't say. No, that would be 50%.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't know. I don't know how many. I don't want misinformation out there.
Yeah, definitely.
On how many women are incarcerated. But it's a lot, though. I mean, it's a lot. So as far as the sexual misconduct goes, it goes both ways. So we've talked about this. There's women that are in there that will do things because the officers will bring them things. And obviously the officers are benefiting
Of course, it happens
sexually.
Right.
And most of them are married, have families, or a lot of them are
I
married.
don't know if most of them. We can't say that most of them are married. You don't know
Well,
that.
that's what I'm saying. Many of them are married.
Yeah.
And you know, they do whatever anyway.
I mean, but there's women also that are, there's like, I mean,
I know.
Yeah, they don't, like save cum and then spit it into a napkin and then give it to them and are like, here, this is this person's semen.
Are there any parts of these articles that Cam is pulling up that you guys want to read off? Because I know he's been highlighting stuff here and there. I just want to make sure I get it off screen at the same time.
I mean, you know what, Cam, if you find anything that you want to just say, I just pulled up this article and look what this at. You know, you could chime in too, but you don't have a microphone.
Do you remember a gynecologist? What's that say?
This one, yeah. So
The California gynecologist. The gynecologist California sexually abused people in custody At the Dublin, is that Dublin?
California Institution for Women, Chino.
Oh, Chino, yeah.
That was
So yeah, so it goes everywhere.
That's not the federal.
But that's not state prison though.
Right.
It's definitely exactly. Yeah. So the abuse continues.
So that's cool because we could talk about. It's not just federal prison. It's
No, definitely. But there was I was talking to a friend of mine. I remember we were on the track walking, another friend of mine, and she was telling me that there was the gynecologist who, like he would, without his gloves on, do like a little women's checkup, and then literally, like he's actually got in trouble for it apparently.
Are you going to say that?
Huh?
Are you going to talk about that?
I'm talking about it right now. We are talking about it.
Oh. Never mind.
But yeah, so she was telling me that and so she went back to the dorm and was like, so blah blah blah. He wasn't a gynecologist, he was a regular doctor, what he was. And she's like, he told me to jump up on the tables and do a fetal exam on me, and they were like, what? He is not a gynecologist, and you were alone. There wasn't even a nurse in there with you. And she was like, I guess that. And she did that anyway? Yeah, she did. Because you just do what they tell you to do. You don't even think about it.
What about, now that I'm thinking about this, what about, and I've heard this before, not just from you, I want to say, but like guards that are in their stations and they have cameras everywhere. Don't they have cameras like in the showers and by the showers?
Hell no, they don't have showers or cameras in the
I mean, I have watched shows before where they've said that, women have said that I can walk by and there'd be male officers.
Oh, well, yes, the officers.
Maybe not the cameras, but they're looking down.
Yeah. It's like that in county jail a lot.
From where they're at.
It's like that in Dallas County. The cameras show that, like not the federal prison.
But maybe it's not cameras, but where their posts are.
Yeah, definitely.
They could see down at,
definitely.
the girls, going from the back.
You got county jail, and there's no rules.
So the gynecologist thing you mentioned just earlier, it sounds like one particular case you mentioned, she had no idea that person was.
Well, and it wasn't the gynecologist, it was a doctor, though. Yeah, so it was a doctor that she didn't know now.
She thought that he was.
Right.
He had convinced her of that.
Well,
Just to go.
he didn't say he was a gynecologist at all. No, that was
He just said that she had to have a girly.
Yeah, she had to have a female checkup. It's kind of like, it's like sometimes if you go to the doctor, like when you hit a certain age, you go to the gynecologist in there, and they're like, because you've hit a certain age, whoop, stick their finger up your head.
Remember when you had to go to the doctor and you were having an issue and the doctor's like, I'm going to do a little rectal exam?
Yeah, we're not talking about that right now.
That's what.
It was kind of like that one.
Yeah,
you just slipped it in.
Yeah,
I gave him permission to do that. I knew that he was that guy that had.
But you were not cool with it.
No, it felt fucking direct.
That's right.
It was like, wow, I feel fucking violated. Shit.
Women that are over 50 came back to the door.
You didn't even kiss me first.
Yeah, he fucking got the lube ready and everything.
Oh,
wow, we're really doing this.
we're personal. Well, yeah, that's so funny because over 50, I'll be like, when people, it's so funny because now that I know, I'll be like, so you're going to go to the OBGYN? They're about to give you did they give you the old whoop, whoop? They'll be like, yeah, they did. With no warning, huh? So just give a little check. We're like, just checking, whoop.
Can you pull up a video of rental exam?
Yeah, let's find out.
Are you talking about...
That's a women's swinging gap thing.
I never had that exam, by the way.
Exactly. Well, guess what? Everyone over 50 and up exam. They get that exam when they're in federal prison.
Even women. That's funny.
Oh, yeah. They just stick it right up the old choo-choo.
That's so gross.
They're like, for checking for polyps.
I was going to say, why would a woman get a rectal exam?
To check for polyps.
Okay.
Really? Well, why else would they tie their finger up there?
I think I have heard that before.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean...
Whatever...
I think that's what
Whatever is the most...
I think that's what a colonoscopy is for.
Yeah, well, this doctor didn't stick his finger up her bum, but he did stick his finger up her vajay with no glove.
No glove.
No glove.
That's some shit.
That's disgusting. That is just violation right there at its finest.
Right up. And so needless to say, I guess the guy later on did get in trouble. And she was like, oh my God, it wasn't normal because I saw that doctor and he was, oh. So he's just selecting every few girls, you know.
Did anything happen to that guy?
I don't know. I think he got in trouble. I mean, I think he got fired and got in trouble. She said, hairstyle that whole year was like that. You got in trouble. She did not blow the whistle on him because, you know, there's a lot of inmates that, you know, don't go telling on the officers or whatever because they're just not built like that in general to tell on people. You know what I mean? Unless it was like a straight up like a, should have wasn't traumatic, but she didn't even realize that it would.
Well, I feel like people that are in prison, they're
already compromised too by what those people know about them. So it could be like a double.
right. And I just feel like there's so much, whatever you want to call it, like trauma, stuff that you guys have already been through that maybe you don't even look at that as like a violation because you've already been violated a lot.
Like a lot of others just don't like telling, period. Like the last, like, unless you,
Well, yeah, because you don't even know if you're going to get in trouble.
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And the first thing that when something happens to me, like normal people, they're like, oh my God, this happened to me. I'm going to call the police because this was illegal. This is not supposed to happen. But then there's people like me who I'm like, I'm just going to handle this shit myself. Like, I'll figure it out. Like, definitely, like, I'm a hands-on person anyways, you know? I don't need to call the police for anything. And that is literally how we think. Like,
well, yeah, because most of the time you're in trouble, so you're not going to definitely call the police most of the time.
yeah, but I don't even think I call the police now. Like, I'm not really a police caller.
Well, oh,
Unless someone was, unless somebody was like, unless like it was like, I mean, like it has to be serious for me to have to call the police for anything. Right? It's nothing. I think it's just like we talked about wiring in my brain and all that. You know, my brain's wired to like a.
well, right. I mean, okay. So say for instance, I don't know if Tiffany told you this, but we ran into Dana when we were up in the mountains. And so I was sitting at the table and she was at the arcade thing playing with Liam. And Dana came up to her and said, and she had my credit card because I gave her the credit card to go buy the games and everything. And she said that like 15 things went through her head of, oh my God, I've got my mom's credit card. Who is this person? Because she didn't recognize Dana at first. She was like, who is this person? I got my mom's credit card. Where's Liam? You know, like, because she went into fight or flight mode.
Right, like literally it took like within the second she said my name, is your name Tiffany? And the first thing first Liam, then it was, how would you know my name? I have my mom's credit card. So there's no way that my name is even linked to this kiosk that I just used.
Right.
Like, I haven't done anything to get in trouble. This can't be the feds that would know my name. Like, so many things, went through my mind. And
but the reason why I went down that rabbit hole is because, your thinking is different. Because if I was worried about something, I would call the police.
This is last week?
When we went up to Breckenridge.
Yeah.
Oh, on
when we was
Saturday?
Yeah. Yep.
You know what's weird about that?
What?
Is when you and I were at Lucky Strike the other day.
What happened?
There was somebody that was related with Dana.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah. Ran to somebody else.
That's a rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So
That is weird. Coinky dinky.
might have to explore that on.
Maybe that family stalking.
Crossing paths, people crossing paths for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going down that rabbit hole, that's why I went down that rabbit hole, because your thinking is differently.
Yeah,
if somebody came up to me and I didn't recognize them, all of those thoughts wouldn't have gone through my head.
Yeah.
So if something is happening and you wouldn't call the police, that's just because you've been down that road of, more than 20 years of.
I'm like, and Dana looks so normal. She could have been a freaking federal parole officer for all I knew, or some federal whatever. Like, she looked like she could have been Tina for all I know, And I'm like, yeah, the first instinct was, oh, not right now. I got my kid. You know what I mean? Like,
You know, also funny, like Kevin and I had an appointment before the recording today,
Yeah.
and we met up with a client, and there was this guy that was like right behind him who thought he recognized me,
Oh.
and I had never seen him before, and I don't think he'd ever seen me before.
Oh.
But I was still like, oh, what's up? Because we hadn't seen like the prospect we were working with before today. So Ken and I were like, oh, what does this guy look like? And then I thought that the guy who we were looking for was a different dude. And that different dude thought he knew me.
Oh, that's
And I was like, oh, okay, like, nice to meet you. It wasn't him.
Oh my God. Well, you have a lot of followers, so you know, this might be someone that might have seen you on.
He thought that I lived in bed or something like that. So he's like, dude, it's good to see you. I was like, I But that's like to the point. It's like my brain didn't go into like
survival mode.
yeah.
Yeah, or your Australian survival.
I'm like, this is just a friendly guy.
I mean, I felt
Right, yeah.
I felt bad when she told me that though. Like, I've got my mom's credit card. It's not my name.
Yeah.
Here's Liam.
Yeah.
All of those things.
He's like,
We're doing nothing wrong. So
I was telling Dana, and it made her tear up.
oh, what?
And I was telling her,
Oh my gosh.
she felt bad.
Yeah. Well, she just said my name so definite. And I was like, oh, like, really? What have I done?
Yeah.
What now? What could I possibly pass shit come in to get me? So, I mean,
I have one more thing on that.
okay.
Because there was somebody else who I was speaking with in men's group that he
Oh,
like
yeah.
well we've done for that. Yeah, he's got a really awesome story. I think we should have him on the show. But he was telling us just about how he had something in his past from I think 2021
Yeah.
just now come up that he's going like basically did rule in his favor. Yeah.
Wow.
Where he's going to be in halfway house now, but he's been doing excellent, like
Wow.
with rehabilitation through that whole thing. But they came up from his past, and they're like, "We got to deal with."
But he's not so good that they're.
Yeah,
Wow. You know what's so crazy? So CJ's telling me about this guy, and I'm like, and then the more and more I'm listening, and I'm like,
I know him.
I did.
Oh, you
Yeah. I was like,
what you did.
he's like, just tell me all just these things about, and the more he's telling me, I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably a blah, 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 you know, like what is, I'm thinking about this dude. And then he's like, well, let me show you a picture. I'm like, let me see a picture. And then he showed me, I'm like, oh yeah, I know him. I'm like, ask him if he knows me. And right away, he's like, yeah, where do I know her from?
yeah,
That's a little small world there.
right.
Yeah.
But you guys are both doing
Well, go.
well now.
Right.
But yeah, just to your point as well. Like he probably faces some of the same things mentally.
What happened to me?
Somebody will come up and they know who you are, but you don't know who they are, or something like that. You think, oh shit, how is this about to catch up to me from my past that I don't even know what it is? Like I'm doing well now, but you still have this like overhanging guilt, like perpetually.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, most people probably face that coming out
They
of
don't think-
incarceration.
They do, definitely.
Because even when you're not incarcerated, but you're like, say that you're in class and you have a teacher that like micromanages you.
Yeah.
Like even when you think that you're doing something right, but the teacher's coming over, you automatically feel like you're doing something wrong.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna shut up because I want to, if Cam wants to say something,
Yeah, that can.
he has the ability. It's all, I'll break the mic. You see it, the couch?
He's just going through all of the tech stuff. But
Introduce yourself, Cam.
Do you want me to?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Cam.
He's our new set guy. He's gonna be here.
Mr. Producer,
The producer, just behind the scenes, just going through a whole bunch of stuff while you guys are talking, just like
it's fascinating though, isn't it?
fascinating. I didn't even know that this was going on. Some of this really
Yeah, with a lot of people, I'm always, even Dad, like I told Dad, he was like, oh my gosh. And he looked it up, like, oh.
it's scary.
I mean, honestly, unless you've got a loved one that's incarcerated, you don't think about that stuff. And you don't think about it because it's not publicized. And to me, I think it's just so crazy that, I mean, it needs to be exposed because these are still people that are in there. There's still the people that deserve to have, not be abused, first of all. Of course, there's manipulation. And on both sides. But what happens in there, even, how badly the food is. You know, they don't care about nutrition, hell, whatsoever. I mean, it's just awful. And the water, they're just even water.
So Dublin used to sell filters for your for your water. I mean, where like you could put a filter over your water bottle, and then they would do that anywhere else. I don't think maybe in Hawaii or I don't know. They should. Oh, the men's prisons do.
They shouldn't even have to sell them. Everything costs money. And if you don't have the money, then you're finagling how to get that. That's a whole racket in itself, you know, just trying to figure out stuff.
Yeah, dude, literally.
So the prisoners have to pay for those water filters themselves?
Oh, yeah, you have to everything. They have to pay for everything.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that either. That's crazy.
It's a whole network in there. There's a hustle for everything in there. You can make money, but everybody has to, it's a whole colony. Everybody's out there for themselves, though.
That the Corolla thing. Oh, like what you were talking about.
Yeah.
The what?
You make your business in prison instead.
You do. You have to make your business right. There's a lot of.
Can we have an episode on that? Yeah, I know there's some things that you're like, we're not talking about. It's non-negotiable. Can we talk about the prison hustle stuff?
Yep. Well, can we talk about prison? Oh, yeah. No, we're not talking about that. We can talk about a few of the prison hustles. That's fine.
I mean, because I think that would be a really good episode. Just talking about that, because.
Write that down.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about stuff that everybody already knows about. Information that the whole world probably knows.
But let's go back to the topic that this.
Tiffany about
that. Yeah. That only Tiffany.
Yeah.
And only Tiffany tells secrets, Meryl. And only Tiffany did. Yeah, only.
Oh, yeah, only stuff that I've done. Right, exactly.
But let's get back to the topic at hand so that we can wrap this up for people. What? So is anything being done about this since the Dublin thing, since they shut Dublin down?
Well, they chase the people. They sentenced those
people. But I'm saying as a whole, has anything
been changed in the system?
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I thought you were going to say absolutely.
That's what I was hoping.
They have not changed anything in the system. But I don't see anything. I think what I see is now, though, is that there's but there is more on different compounds. They're saying that this compound's about to go be the next Dublin or whatever. But I feel like everything's still the same. But as far as the women's prisons are concerned, I don't feel like there's ever been a prison as far as in the federal system that has ever been like that. That was, I think, the worst one that they've had.
So I'm reading, Cam brought, Ask ChatGPT, and I'm cracking up because they're talking about, yes, it permanently closed Dublin, and there's a lawsuit, and then there's another pending lawsuit. Yeah, but they're not talking about whether systemically they've done anything about it.
Well, because they thought that they did. Though they had an outline of things that everyone that was only from Dublin, though, not, if you're from any other compound, you're fucked. It didn't really matter. You know how you got, what kind of services you got. But they did have, and they had implicated laws that were they were supposed to.
Yeah, bring that down a little bit. Federal prison, no, bring it down. Yeah, no, down. No, other way out. Other way out. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Federal prison oversight. Congress passed the Federal Prison Oversight Act to enhance transparency and accountability within the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Okay, that's transparency and accountability.
But that,
who's doing that?
They're just supposed to be held accountable and make sure that these people were they're able to have access to a therapeutic community, able to program, able to do, because they have the FSA credits and stuff like that, but a lot of times you go to a compound you can't even get in those classes for FSA credits. So
what is the FSA credit?
FSA is,
what does that stand for?
Good conduct.
Yeah, but what is FSA?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know what FSA. I just know I didn't qualify for FSA credits, so I didn't really pay attention that much. I just was always hearing people talking about how FSA.
No, that's a flexible spending account. That's not it.
FSA for federal prison. For federal prison.
Oh, it does. Here we go.
Anyway.
All right.
Step back.
Oh yeah, the first step back. Yeah. I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know why I couldn't think of it at that moment. But yeah,
Why weren't you eligible for it?
because you want to say that word? My recidivism. Can't say that word. Is too. My recidivism
Recidivism.
is too high. No, it's too high. So I can't.
Which is really sad because you would think because your recidivism rate is so high that you would be eligible for those classes.
So if I would have been down long enough this last time, I could have taken classes. It would have taken me about a year and a half to get my points down. And then I would have been able to
Do the FSA.
right. Hey, but when I turned 41, not 40, 41, my points went down.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, some like,
I don't know why.
yeah, I don't know. Like 25, your points go down too a little bit. And 25 and 41, that's shit to look forward to. When you
So I think that we should probably wrap it up because CJ, how long have we been going?
44 minutes.
Okay, so wrapping it up.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to also point this out that their prison sentences are off the chart, not cool.
Oh,
Like 6 years and 7 years.
when you had people that are getting 20 or 30 years for crimes that were
I mean,
not
I just don't
as crazy as that.
understand. I don't understand. That should be a whole show in itself on how,
federal prison sentencing guidelines are horrible.
not just that, like any sentencing. I mean, I just sent her a video because, my morbid mind goes down these crazy stories of this guy who, I don't know if he ever went to prison. He was a drug addict, but anyway, he had a bunch of trauma and saw his baby sister get murdered
And
by his mother's
boyfriend.
and guess how many years he got? He was up for he murdered an 18-month baby.
Slay the baby
In
against the
front-
wall so many times.
in front of him, who was 3.
Yeah.
And he he got like 20 years in prison.
You said his mom murdered.
His mom's boyfriend.
Did this when mom was at work.
And the guy was 3 and saw this happen.
And remember-
My whole point is that he was up for parole 5 years in, and he got paroled at 9 years. This is a person that killed a little baby in front of a 3-year-old. How does that happen? And then when you were gone for 5 whole years, you were up for parole and
Never made it.
and got denied and then did 9 years for a nonviolent crime. That is what infuriates me and makes me crazy. Crazy. So on that note,
Right.
I don't know if you have anything left to say or you see.
No, it's really fucked up. The system is horrible. But
What are your thoughts on
the system's getting better in
Is it?
a lot of other ways. I don't know about the prison system, but the government looks like it's, well, we're not going to get into politics. But things look like they're getting better anyways, just in every other area. Hopefully Trump makes things better for the prison system a little bit too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh?
Political alert.
Yeah, political alert. Yeah, electrical.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, because
Even if the laws change.
Because either way, we're here to make a difference, and we're here to support friends and family and loved ones in and out of prison. And we are taking steps to advocate for you guys that are in there.
Definitely.
And also
support
for
everybody.
friends and family that are out, that like, myself and CJ and all of you out there that have wanted to advocate for them and felt stuck and didn't know what to do. So if any of you guys are out there, please leave a comment. Let us know how you guys are doing. And
Like and subscribe to our channel. Yep. Like
And also,
subscribe.
now
Share.
that we have Cam pulling up this handy dandy screen we can actually record a version like reading your guys' comments so that anytime you do leave credit to you guys and like,
And we can read your comments now.
of course, if you need to
As we would love to do that.
anonymously, and that is completely fine too.
That's great.
And we're going to do lives as well too, so that we can
Interact.
interact and answer questions.
Fun.
But we want your help too, because we want to know what you know as well, so that we can talk about that too. So
Or what topics you'd like us to research and tell you about. Or hey, any questions for me? You know, I've been in the system for 20 years, so I can answer all of your questions.
and we are also going to have guests on the show as well that are in there right now, that are dealing with things, that want to talk about things, that possibly want to expose some things, and then also people on the outside and advocates too. We've got one person, I can't remember her name, Sparkly somebody, but anyway,
Oh, Purple Lindsay.
yeah, we're gonna have her on too, and she's
Yeah, definitely.
a coach and
Yeah, about peer education. She owns a peer education facility.
yeah. But anyway, on that note, we love you all and have a great day.
Take care. Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Appreciate you guys from the inside out.
I don't